Hello everyone. Just wanted to share my experience preparing for the Google interview. I appeared for an interview with Google for business system analyst role, and just wanted to share what kind of preparation I did and what kind of questions were asked and things like that. So let's get started. Once the Google recruiter contacts you or you contact a Google recruiter for the interview or for an outstanding position, then they will tell you, how many rounds. And also for me, there were five rounds of interview, and then there was a fitment round. So the five rounds, were primarily around solution design, on domain knowledge, and on customer engagement, and then googliness and leadership. So that is a very important round. But mostly all the four rounds that I had, they had solution design element one way or the other. After these five rounds, they will offer you a job, and but also there might be a fitment round. So in my case, I had a fitment round with a couple of teams, and therein they look for if you will be able to fit in their team or not. So that is as far as the process is concerned. And these five or six or seven rounds of interview, they would span across any time from 2 months, and in my case it went on to around 5 to 6 months as well. So that is with regards to how you can prepare. Now, how I did the preparation. Now, what I'll do is I'll share some of the links of YouTube channels which I used for my preparation, and also let me talk about a few important questions that we should definitely prepare for. And in the end, I will share what questions were asked of me, and you guys can take a cue from that, and then prepare for similar questions for if you get selected for interviewing with Google. Okay, so to start with, what all things I prepared for. So this is the amount of notes that I prepared for myself, so that I can be more comfortable for the interview. Now, some of the important questions that you can prepare for are what you are actually working on, and what are the challenges that you face and how you overcome those challenges, right? So it could be a touch of what you are technically or functionally working on, and how did you overcome those challenges. So this is one of the important questions you should definitely prepare for. Then from the solution design perspective, what I did was I prepared for some of the system design questions around designing an Instagram type app, or designing a ride sharing app, right? I also prepared for designing a system for a library, right? I also prepared for an e-commerce kind of a platform, how we would go about implementing or designing an e-commerce kind of a platform. Then some of the other things I prepared for were think of a meet that's happening for your product. So how would you go about designing an app that will help users to get onboarded and help them with the IO Meet kind of a app, right? Then Essentially, see all the questions around basically solutioning or system designing of one of these. You can even prepare for something like designing a YouTube kind of an app. How would you go about designing it, and what are the salient features you would be looking at designing a system like YouTube. Okay, so this is as far as the solution designing part of it is concerned, but then there are other aspects to your solution design, right? So definitely you want to pay stress on the functional requirements and the non-functional requirements. How do you differentiate, and how you would go about taking care of those two kind of requirements. One of the question that can be asked in the Googliness round is, how would you handle innovation in your team, and if you think your team is not able to innovate as much, how would you go about making sure that you build in the culture of innovation in your team. Then some of the other questions, I think that's what I mentioned, was the challenges that you faced in your project, and how did you go about meeting those challenges. So some of the obvious challenges could be around requirements, and how they were vague, and how did you go about getting clarity on those requirements. One of the other aspect is there was a resource crunch, and how did you go about handling that situation. Or there could be questions around data management, and how did you make sure that you got a good and clean data. So definitely I think you should prepare around the concept of data, and how do you handle data in your project, because that is one of the key questions most of the interviewers in Google interview would definitely ask for. And then you can also prepare around some of the things like how would you handle the questions around apps like video uploading or downloading kind of apps, and think of it as how would you design a Dropbox kind of a system. So think of those questions around those areas, and definitely some of the key things that's plaguing the solution in terms of what about differences between REST, SOAP, or a messaging app kind of a system. So that's a very important question that you can prepare for. Okay, so let's start with the Google interviews. And the first one, let's discuss about that, and we can keep it to rest. Is the Googliness and leadership round. So on YouTube, you have a channel by Jeff H. Sipe, and he does a lot of videos on how to clear Google interview, and how to handle the Googliness and the leadership kind of questions. So definitely I would recommend going through that, and understanding what kind of questions are asked and how to prepare for those questions. Then a few other questions. So let me start sharing a few questions that I encountered, right? One was around, I think I already mentioned that you have a great team, but the innovativeness is somehow not seen, and no innovative solutions are coming out of your team. So how would you go about handling that use case? Then there is definitely one question on a difficult manager or a coworker. Or in your experience, if you encountered such a manager or a coworker, how did you handle that manager? So that is definitely one of the questions that was asked. And imagine a ideal kind of a work environment. So what is a ideal work environment for you, right? So that is one of the questions that I was asked. And so these are some of the questions that you can prepare for the Googliness and leadership round. Okay, so in the other solution designing and custom engagement kind of interview that I had, each of these interviews had one important question, and that's where most of the time will be spent on answering that question and looking for alternate solutions. So in one of the rounds I was asked to design a cricket statistics gathering website. So in this website, basically for the sports of cricket, how would you go about designing a website wherein you can get all the stats related to cricket, right? So this is a very open-ended question, and you can provide a solution as you deem fit, and you can go into as many details as you want to, right? In one of the other interviews, I was asked to design a healthcare app, wherein the requirement is that the hospitals and patients can upload their data, and it can be made available to a third party, or between hospital and the patient, right? So and again, this is an open-ended question. You can talk about the requirements and that you want to handle, and how would you go about making sure that those requirements are met. Then in another interview, I was asked about designing an applicant tracking system. So this is more around that you want to, how would you decide making or buying such a tool, and what are the important features you would like to have in your application tracking system. And so you decide your scope, decide your boundaries, and then give a solution around that problem. And then one of the other question was that was asked was to define a peer feedback tool. So you have you want to have a tool within your organization wherein you can provide peer feedback, and how would you go about designing such a system, right? And then so these were some of the important questions that I encountered, and other than that, there were a couple of rounds in which we talked about the team fitment. And so in the team fitment, definitely they would like to know how you would fit into the team, how would you go about learning a new product, because most of the time for a business analyst role, the tool or the product could be anything, right? So they would definitely like to know how would you go about learning a new product, and how would you basically adjust to the challenges that are being faced in the organization, and how you can provide us a holistic solution to the various problems that they are facing. So this in nutshell is the kind of questions I was asked, and the kind of preparation that I did. I did talk about a lot of questions that I prepared for and that were asked in the interview. And again, the answers, they could because the questions are so open-ended, the answers also would be pretty much open-ended, and but you definitely would like to go into details, and they would definitely ask some follow-up questions, and you should be able to provide an answer that is satisfying to what they are looking for. So I think this session would definitely help you, specifically if you are preparing for a business analyst role at Google. And do let me know if you have any follow-up questions. Thank you.